Hey, John here with Acumen Studio. I want to walk you through PPC for the print industry. So, what you typically hear of is paid search, Google Ads, AdWords, Bing, all these different channels when they're talking about paid search. But what we do is a little bit different and works really well for the print industry, printers, products, service providers. And so, the way we approach it is we're targeting the behaviors of people who are going to do business with you. We're finding those who are looking for the products and services that you sell. But also, we're targeting competitors. We're targeting interests. We're doing things that you might find a brand marketer doing, but we're doing it from an acquisition perspective, and it works really well. So I've got my computer here, and I just want to walk you through some of the things that we do for paid search, for PPC, and how we do it for the print industry. Show you how it's different, how it works well. So take a look. On this screen, you'll see the beginning things that I'll just walk through about paid search and PPC for the print industry. So I've pulled up a selection of terms here just to give you some of the initial fundamentals, those basics. And similar to SEO, you go to Google and get information about how people search for products and services online. And with Google, since they are the dominating force in terms of the paid ads from a non-social media perspective, this is where you really need to go to get the biggest insights into how to capitalize and find opportunity in the paid space that is not paid social. So paid search, retargeting, the display ads you see, banner ads, things like that. So what I've just pulled up is a sample of foil printing services, foil printing, stamping, to give you an idea of what that looks like. If I go in and we're to search for these terms, we're given an estimate on how many people are searching these monthly, what the level of competition is for these terms inside the paid search auction. So this is many people are trying to bid on these terms, and so this gives you an idea of how competitive it is. And for any service that is in demand, it's typically going to be pretty high. So you can see here the different volumes, and what we do is we go in and say, all right, 30, okay, well, that's high competition. There's only 30 searches. Well, I think I'd rather deal with high competition and have something that has 1,600 searches, for example, right? It's all about looking at what the existing opportunity is, but also, what comes up in search for this. You can take some behavioral cues from the search engines, from SEO, and that's why they all work together. But basically, we search those terms, and it's giving us the volume. Okay, here are the terms that you could be bidding on. Here's the level of competition. Here's the average top of the page bid, so getting in those 4 ads above everything else. We'll show you what that looks like if you search for that. But this is a good example to give you that macro insight. Again, so just like paid search, we would go more finite as we refined what we wanted to show up for. But as it relates to bidding on keywords and showing ads for those keywords, you really need to just stick to the core of what you do and get as granular as possible. So in the case of you doing foil stamping, foil printing, you're seeing things come up here, the gold foil, so it gets more specific about the specific color, the specific type. So having ads that you can place and having areas for people to land on once they click through that's most relevant to these terms is critical, right? And this is where most paid search companies would talk to you about. They'd say, bid on the terms that people are searching out the services and make sure you're there. And that's correct. But one of the biggest problems in the industry, the digital marketing industry, content marketing industry, the paid search industry, is that people will bid in ways that waste money. So there's a lot of different things such as match types, broad match, broad modified match, phrase match, exact keyword match, variants of those. So there's all these different ways to bid on a specific term. And if you're not doing that in a way that maximizes your ad spend, you will spend more than you need to. And in some cases, just lose money because you show up too often for these very generic terms. And so while I won't get into the nitty-gritty of the match type bidding, I will let you know that you should be aware of that and question that when you go in to do it, and research that if you go in to do this on your own. So just to do a quick search in Google, I'm going to search gold foil printing as an example. So gold foil printing. And what we want to do is I'm going to show you what comes up. So you see we've got Corcoran Printing shows up. We've got Fast Printing, Moo.com, Spectrum Marketing, Direct Mail Print Services, right? And then you've got all these pre-done products. And then you have printing companies that pop up for my local area. So this is great, right? There's a good diversity of things that come up for that, and you have ads that show up. But what's really interesting is you'll see here, there's one that lists gold foil printing, another that lists gold foil printing, where the other two do not. And if I'm to click through, I am going to be directed to a certain area of their site. And in this case, I can see down in the bottom here, I can see it pop up before I even click through, that it's going to take me to foil business card printing. Now, I wasn't searching for business cards, so that's a pretty broad assumption to think that I want business cards. And I'll move down to the other here where we have gold business cards. And so again, assuming business cards. And when I look up here, it's got custom foil stamping, and now it has some things listed here, but as I look, it's printing, foil stamping, and embossing. I'm just going to click through on this ad to show you that when I get here now, printing, foil stamping, embossing, that's great. I'm being taken to that area. Now, it's not specific to gold foil, so no one is actually directing me to a gold foil section of their foil and stamping area of their website. But let's be honest, that does get really granular, and you would spend a lot of time creating it down to that level. Now, so if you don't have that, that's not a big deal. But I will tell you, of all of those ads that came up, this is going to be the best one in terms of what they're presenting to you, because I may not be looking for business cards, and 2 of the 4 that show up were business cards. And if I just look at Spectrum, it's extremely broad. It is just their commercial printing for Spectrum marketing. So that is very wasteful, because I was looking for something specific, and this is definitely going to waste money for you if someone was to click on that ad. Now, just like SEO, the page that they land on when you click through in those results is critical. So in here, this is pretty decent. In terms of getting design change, so Corcoran, great job on having a landing page that's giving people examples of work that you've done specific to the product or service type that you have on the page. You're listing out benefits and what you do. You have a contact CTA here, which is fantastic. And then you have a form at the bottom as well, CTA, to get people to contact you that way. So all very good things. So definitely a thumbs up for Corcoran Printing on having this available when someone clicks through on an ad. They would typically have higher conversion rates because of this, and are likely to get a good return on that. So the other thing that you want to look at and that we do is research up front. So obviously setting up keywords and bids and things like that are critical, because you need to know how much you're willing to spend and what you expect to get a return from that spend. And using Google Ads is a great way to understand that, because you'll be able to see from the dollar spent to how much it returns for you in leads and what those leads turn into as revenue. So you know if you're getting a 10x return, a 20x return, or a 5x return. So very, very important. Now we go similarly, again, like SEO, they're very interconnected, is we use SEMrush to do some competitive analysis and analysis on the existing campaigns we work with. But we're going to use 4over as the example. Most people are familiar with 4over as a trade printer in the industry. And so if you look at what 4over's done over the past 8 years, they've really grown, and they've worked to increase that visibility, which is fantastic. You see that they're paying here as well, and this is essentially being scraped from the internet. If I scroll down, and I'll show you the terms that they're bidding on and the ads that they're running, really we can kind of see what's going on just overall from this page. But if I scroll down, you'll see 4over's running some display ads. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So display ads are your banner ads, the things that you see on other websites or those that follow you around. We'll talk about that as well. And then you also see some sample text ads where Super Trade Printer, Get Printing Solutions, again, Super Trade Printer a lot in their headlines. But once you move up a little bit higher, you can see some other sample ads where it's leading wholesale printer, best wholesale printer, fast turnaround. You've got the description text here. So they're running paid, right? And we can do some analysis to see what's working well for them. But what we're looking to do is looking at competitors. Who else are running ads on these similar terms? See Vistaprint, Uprinting, and we can explore those deeper. We definitely will. But this is a great place to go and get a broad overview of your competitors. Are they actually running paid? Number one is really important for you to know. And number two, if they are, what are they running? What are they bidding on? What do their ads look like? And this is a quick way for you to get an understanding of what that competitive space looks like in your market. So we'll use that. And I give you a little more definition on those banner ads, the different ways that we approach paid search and just paid overall that's not, again, non-social are there's the paid ads where you're bidding on terms and you show up with those text ads. But then there's also the retargeting where the ads follow you around. The biggest example everyone gets is you go to Amazon or Walmart and you go to a different website and you see the product there that you were just looking at. Same idea, but you can get really specific with that. So just like with our example of the stamping and printing, if someone was to visit that section of our website, the stamping, printing, foil, we can then target them with ads that are specific to where they were at on our website. So if they went to the stamping and foil portion page, we can retarget them only on that page and say, for everyone who visited that page, I want you to show them an ad about the stamping, foil, print, the stamping and foil work, right? You can show them an ad specific to that. So that's very powerful. And then, so that's one way, is to retarget those people who've been to your website. Another extremely, extremely beneficial way of getting in front of customers and leads is the list remarketing. So within Google, as an example, you can take a list, an email list of customers, an email list of leads, and upload those into the paid platform, and it will match them back to the pool of people they are tracking and start showing ads to those individuals. So that's great because now you could take a customer list, the people that work with you and have worked with you for years, and you can upload that and target those customers. That's one thing. Or you can use audience modeling, so similar audiences, that is how Google Ads calls it, where it then will model those contacts, what they do online, where they go, what they've purchased, where they work, all of those things. And they will bottle that up and find other people who match that and target those individuals. And that is extremely accurate when you have good lists in-house. So there are a number of different ways to do paid, and one is to bid on the search terms and people show up. Another is to target the visitors who've been to your website, and then the others is target those who you have lists for, and then so you can target them directly or model your list to target new audiences. Really, really powerful. And just to bring in, just to go over to 4Over's website to reinforce one of the things I was saying, with retargeting, let's just say that I did come in here and I want to get in, I'm interested in silk cards. I came to 4Over's website, I clicked on the silk cards area, and so there's information about that. I can see some examples, and I can click over, look at specs, look at the templates, I can get all that information. But because I visited that page, they can now retarget me and show me ads about silk cards if they want to do that. So again, extremely important, very powerful. And I really would love to get questions from you on this, because one of the biggest problems that we just see in the printing industry is that people bid on the service terms. They use broad match, which matches them to many things. An example ends up being you could be bidding on the foil printing. Gold foil printing is the term that you're bidding on. And you could show up for an ad that talks about, I hate gold foil printing. And I'm gonna pull, and I can't promise you, this is literally real time that I'm showing this, but I hate gold foil printing. And so in this case, no ad is showing up. That is fantastic. But I spoke too soon. So no ad in the top, but if I scroll down, you can see 3 ads here are showing up in the bottom, and none of these, I can guarantee you, none of these people want me to click on their ad after searching the term, I hate gold foil printing. So this is a perfect example of where bad bidding practices, bad setup will waste your money, and you'll have a negative outlook on paid search overall. So I know this is a really broad overview because it gets very technical and there are so many things that you can do, but I can tell you that our approach is very simplified, and we take everything that I just said. So we use the services and products that you sell, and we structure those in a way to maximize ad spend and get all the junk out, so you don't show up if someone searches for I hate gold foil printing. And then we retarget the visitors of your website. We retarget your customer lists. We retarget your leads lists, And we model new audiences off of your customer list, your leads list, and the visitors to your website. That way you are able to find new customers on a regular basis who turn into leads on your website, who turn into customers with your company, and spend money over time doing more business with you, creating more referrals and growth for your organization. So that's how it works. And so I really hope this helps. Definitely give us a call, an email to learn more. But that's it. Paid search for the print industry is very similar to other industries, other than the fact that it is a highly quoted industry. And if you are not there, you will be losing out to competitors. If you are not doing this, I'm promising you, if you do not do this and others in your market are doing it, you are losing out to them. And it's just a fact. So thanks so much. And let me know if you have questions. All right. So hopefully that helped clarify how we do PPC differently for the print industry. It plays a part in the whole as it relates to high ROI content marketing. It doesn't take a lot of budget. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. What it does have to take is someone knowing the industry and knowing how to apply it in a way that's going to maximize the effort and the ad spend you put to it. So again, it doesn't take a lot from a cost perspective. It doesn't take a ton from a labor perspective if you know how to do it and do it right. So again, thanks so much. John Bracamontes with Acumen Studio, and I hope that clarified for you how it should be done, PPC for the print industry. Talk soon.